Hi guys, this is Edulastic. Some of us are pretty familiar with Edulastic, but it's basically just a way for you to sort your students into classes and provide them with assessments. The assessments are pretty cool that they already have in there, and you can also build your own. If you guys look over to the left-hand side, you've got your main dashboard, which if you click on that, it shows you all your classes. As you can see, they're all labeled for me, former classes. You can also sync it with your Google Classroom to make it even more simple. Again, lots of things work with Google Classroom and are partnered with them. You've got question banks. Those are questions that have already been submitted. Some of them are vetted, some of them are not. It depends on where you're getting your questions from. If you want to manage classes, this is important for either assigning students, moving students, giving them the class code. That information is going to be stored here. Let's go to assessments. If I wanted to make an assessment, look at my recent assessments. These are some of my older ones. And you can assign it to a different group for 1920. If I was looking at my older school year, look at my CAS Mastery. Okay, and this is what it gives you, is it gives you the score on a little chart here. And you've got your different students. The thing that you can do with your students, let's say you're like, hey, I would like you to come back and look at this test. I'm going to go ahead and click this redirect button here. I'm going to check him first. Then I'm going to click the redirect button, and that can send him back into the test. I can block the previous response to make sure that he can't see what he did before, and I could get rid of the feedback so that it's more of a fair assessment to have him go back and revise his work. The redirect button's really helpful. Alright, so let's go ahead and make a new assessment. So if I'm making a new assessment, I can start from scratch or choose from the library. You can share your library with your school or not. So let's just do one assessment together. We've got math, assessment number 1, create assessment. You could pick them out by standards. There's already the whole bunch of them in there. Collection, Eureka Math, that's what we're already using. Public library, that means it's going to be open, and you may not be able to trust like the quality of the question. District library, those are ones that have only been put together through STEM Prep. We're going to go ahead and get rid of any collection here. And if you just typed into like a standard, so like let's say 6.ns1, and that's going to filter your questions by that standard, and you can check out sharing as public and check out the quality of the question. If you don't see any questions that kind of match what you're looking for in regards to like rigor, you can always author a new question. Now this program has a lot of different item types, which is really great when we're trying to prep our kids for the rigor of CAST and CASP. So you've got your multiple choices, multiple selection comes up a lot, drag and drop essay type. You also have your math enhanced ones. These are going to be really important, especially as you get into the upper grades with graphing. We obviously can't go through each one of these, but they do support you in creating those questions with a number of helpful tips. You can also use the Help Center, which is located over here on the left side of your page, and they should be able to help support you as you're making those questions as well. I'm very excited for the math ones, but as you guys might have noticed, there's also ELA enhanced ones as well, which could also be used especially for our science teachers when they're creating those CAS style questions as well, or our history teachers as well. Okay, so as we're creating a question, you can upload passages, which is really awesome, using high quality material. You can upload images, so if you have an image that you want the students to analyze, you can do that as well. I'm just going to go ahead and add one question for our quiz, press review, and then publish or assign. Okay, so when I publish or assign it, there's a couple of things you want to pay attention to. Making sure if you don't want a close date to kind of check that out, because otherwise it will lock your students out. Selecting and assigning students. We're going to publish and assign later. Okay, but as I'm saving this, if you want to share it, you need to save it right here with the private library. I like to share it with our district, STEM Preparatory, so that other people can find the material that we've made. And you can share it with your students using one of these links here, and it sends it right over to your Google Classroom. Another really great thing about this is the reports section. And there are multiple different kinds of reports that you can get information about. You can get the assessment summary, multiple assessments, see how your students are doing with a particular standard. Okay, and you're able to see some of that progress on here. And you can also download it to a Excel file and be able to print that down as well so that you're collecting that data and you're able to look at that data. Explore a little bit, go ahead, create a quiz or an assessment and check out some of those features. One more feature I want to show you is that when you are assigning a quiz or assessment, you can use these superpowers for those of you with the paid account. Releasing the scores, you might want to release them, you might want to save them until a different time. Ensuring the safe testing environment, making sure that they're not switching to other browsers. This one only works on the Windows and Mac. Showing questions to students after submission. So sometimes you don't want them to in case that they might share their results with other students beforehand. So for a safety feature, you might want to turn that one off. Depending on what type of quiz, having a calculator, if they're not being assessed on their multiplication facts, this can be a really great support. It's also allowed for certain types of questions on the CASP. And there's a couple other masteries right here. Partial credit, or you could have all or nothing. Those are important different features that you could use. Mastery and proficiency, you can put how you score it here, which we have a 4-3-2-1 band right here. All right, enjoy!